We are moving forward in the field of science and technology at high speed. Yet there are certain past and present events which demand explanation, but continue to remain a mystery. Here are 7 most creepy unexplained mysteries that will give you goosebumps. Let's get started. Number 7. DB Cooper. This is the only unsolved case of air piracy in the aviation history. A case where case files grew into 60 volumes, and with no conclusion. On November 24, 1971, a man who looked like in his mid-40s bought a ticket for a journey from Portland to Seattle. He wore a neat collared shirt, black necktie and a dark suit. While the flight was in mid-air, he handed over a written note to an attendant. The note claimed that he had a bomb in his suitcase. He demanded $200,000 and 4 parachutes. His message was sent to federal authorities who quickly arranged the money. The attendant described him as calm, sober, polite and well-spoken, completely breaking all the stereotypes we have in our head. He took the ransom money and let the passengers go. He was back in the air with just him and rest of the flight crew. While in the mid-air, Cooper jumped from the tail door and was never found again. Even the FBI could not find traces of the bills with serial numbers matching with the ransom money they had given. Number 6. Nebulizer disease epidemic. Technically called encephalitis lethargica or sleepy sickness, it is a disease that targets brain, and those affected often end up in statue-like position, completely speechless and motionless. This epidemic began spreading all over the world between 1915 and 1926. An estimated number of nearly 5 million people were affected, a lot of them even lost their lives. And those who were fortunate enough to live through it, never returned to the normal state. Totally creepy, right? These people looked awake, aware and even conscious yet were motionless. They wouldn't speak at all, with no appetite, or energy, inattentive to everything going around them. They were like passive ghosts who were not completely awake. Sounds creepy, right? Ever since the initial outbreak, no such incident has been reported, but what makes it even more creepy is the fact that we do not know what caused it. And we can never be certain if it can occur again, maybe tomorrow? What is so mysterious about heist at a museum? To find out, continue watching. Number 5. Migration of the monarch butterfly. You must have heard stories about people going to woods, and never coming back ever again. But here is something different. It is a mysterious story about migration of a special butterfly. Since monarch butterflies cannot bear cold winters of Northern America, they would migrate to Mexico around October every year. In their journey to Mexico and back, around 4 complete generations of the butterfly live and die during the migration. And the youngest generation then returns home. Now you must be wondering what's so mysterious in this? Despite 4 complete generations of butterfly that live and die in this journey, the generation that returns back to America not only manages to find the forest their ancestors lived in, but some even come back to the very same tree their relatives started out, despite never having been there. A mystery we haven't solved yet. Number 4. The Great Attractor. Unfortunately, that isn't a name given to some beautiful model, rather it is an unexplained phenomenon happening right now as you are watching this video. To understand it better, you must know that everything in the outer space is in motion, including our own galaxy. Few years ago, scientists realized that the speed at which our galaxy is moving in the space is much faster than we expect it to be. At around 2 million kilometers an hour or 1.3 million miles an hour, the speed of our galaxy is 2,500 times more than an airliner. There is something supermassive that is dragging our galaxy, and everything around it at an accelerating speed, and we still do not know what is it. A truly cosmic horror. Number 3. Devil's Footprints. In February of 1855, after a heavy snowfall, in Exeter, England, trails of hoof-like marks were seen on the snow which went on for more than 100 miles or 160 kilometers. Because of their cloven hoof-like shape, people began calling it the tracks of Satan. That's how it got its name. Wait, it gets even more creepy. The footprints were measured about 4 inches long, and around 12 inches apart on average. They were reported in more than 30 locations, and they were even found over haystacks, various obstacles, and even rooftops of houses covered with snow. At few places the devil's footprints were seen exiting drain pipes as small as 4 inches in diameter. There are various theories around this incident but no definite answer. Number 2. Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum theft. It is the largest private property theft that has ever taken place in the history. The heist that took place in March of 1990 is puzzling because 13 works of art worth $500 million were stolen from Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. The most weird part of the story is that the more valuable painting were left untouched. The museum had initially offered a reward of $5 million for any information that can lead to the recovery of the stolen artworks, and the offer was increased to $10 million in 2017. Despite thousands of pages of evidence, no pattern or motive could emerge in the investigation. After tying the guards, the thieves were in the museum for more than an hour, and even though they could have stolen anything and everything, they chose to steal few specific paintings. You can see the empty frames if you visit the museum. Nobody knows what happened to the paintings. Some believe that the stolen paintings are being used as a form of payment in the underworld. Let us know in the comment section, what do you feel? Number 1. MH370. A Boeing 777 plane that takes off with 227 passengers and 12 crew members is never found again. It has been 4 years since the disaster, and we are still clueless about what may have happened that day. One of the most recent theories which is gaining momentum suggests that there could have been a fire under the cockpit which may have disabled life safety systems. The plane could have climbed to an altitude where breathing was not possible, and the oxygen masks never dropped. A flight carrying 239 bodies remained in the air until its fuel ran out, and it vanished in the vast Indian Ocean. But that is all we have: theories. It is difficult to wrap your head around the fact that in an age of space exploration, how difficult it can be to find even traces of a gigantic airplane. We hope you liked this video, and thanks for watching.